Hey everyone, welcome. Let's just jump right into this explainer, shall we? Today, we are taking a highly structured, totally fascinating masterclass on a metaphysical framework that breaks down the entire journey of the soul. Seriously, we're exploring some profound source material today that completely reimagines human existence, the nature of suffering, and, well, our ultimate cosmic purpose. Think of this as a syllabus for the universe, breaking down the mechanics of the soul from its absolute inception all the way to its ultimate destiny. It's going to be an incredible ride, so let's get started. To make this incredibly dense philosophy easy to grasp, we've broken it down into a real masterclass structure. We've got our introduction, covering the origin of the soul, 4 body sections covering earthly training, soul grading, the meaning of hardships and humans versus animals, and then we wrap it all up with our conclusion on the Hongik Ingan era. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, our introduction, we're looking at the origin of the soul and humanity. Basically, that cosmic spark inside all of us. So the fundamental distinction this framework makes right out of the gate is that before we are human, we are pure energy. The source texts call this the cosmic element. It's an immortal, original, energetic entity. It's literally like a cellular component of the universe itself. It can't be destroyed, it's eternal. But, and here's the catch, the moment this pure cosmic energy docks inside a physical human body, its name and state completely change. It becomes what we recognize as the human soul. Now, you might be wondering how that docking actually happens, right? Well, the source material outlines this incredibly precise chronological process. Step 1, we start as that pure cosmic element. Then, at the exact right moment, this energy docks into the human body. And it doesn't just float in, it enters through exactly 6006 energetic pathways. It happens in an absolute flash. If the timing is even slightly off, the energy just can't enter. Once it's docked, we move to Step 3, earthly life, existing as a 3-dimensional human. And finally, Step 4 is death. But in this framework, death isn't an end, it's just a separation of that energy from the physical body, which kicks off a cosmic grading process. Moving into our body sections, here's Section 2, Earth as the soul's training ground, or the 100-year reformatory. The texts use a really powerful, honestly kind of shocking metaphor to shift our perspective here. They say the physical body acts as perfect handcuffs. Earth isn't just a random habitat we happen to live in, it is impartially described as a temporary reformatory. These cosmic elements are restricted here for about 100 years. And why? To learn, to evolve, to clearly understand the difference between good and evil through the sheer friction of living. The physical body lets us feel and make mistakes, but it also completely locks us into this earthly classroom until our time is up. Okay, Section 3 of the body, how life determines the soul's grade, looking at the cosmic hierarchy of the afterlife. So when that soul separates from the body, a grade is assigned, and it's based entirely on how broadly you lived your life. If someone just drifted, living without purpose, they become a wandering spirit. If they died with intense, unresolved earthly attachments, they're an obsession spirit. Now, if you dedicated your life purely to your own kids and family, you become an ancestor spirit. But if you live for your community or your nation, you elevate to a national spirit. And that top tier, universal spirits, that's reserved for the great spiritual teachers who live for the benefit of all humanity. And actually, here's a wild detail. The texts note that past industry giants and wealthy titans who didn't properly resolve their legacies for society, they get placed in a holding pattern. They don't just automatically get high ranks for being rich. Their ultimate spiritual post depends on how their descendants actually use the wealth they left behind. Which brings up a really pivotal question. If our soul is immortal and Earth is just a school, why is the curriculum so brutally hard sometimes? I mean, why are we subjected to intense hardships, terrible luck, and negative energies that cultures all over the world call demons? That takes us to Section 4 of the body, the true meaning of hardship and demons, these cosmic corrective mechanisms. The magic number to remember here is 9. The source material details this 9-year cycle of hardship, which is traditionally known as samjaya, but it breaks it down super methodically. You get 3 years of decline where things just start going wrong, 3 years sitting at the absolute bottom, which forces intense self-reflection, and finally 3 years of recovery. This cycle is absolutely not some random cruise. It's a structured cosmic mechanism. It kicks in specifically when we are living incorrectly, getting arrogant, or straying from our true path of growth. And this is a huge paradigm shift. Forget pitchforks and monsters for a second. According to this framework, demons, or negative spiritual energies, aren't inherently evil. Actually, scratch that. They aren't evil at all. They are strict cosmic corrective mechanisms. If your life is going perfectly and you become arrogant and just stop learning, the universe sends these hardships to discipline you. They're like strict spiritual teachers forcing you to look in the mirror and study your own flaws. The texts argue that begging a priest or someone to magically chase away your hardship is useless, because the hardship was sent specifically to make you reflect and evolve. The second you recognize your faults and start learning again, the demons just naturally retreat. All right, section 5 of the body, the difference between humans and animals, looking at the metaphysical divide. So according to these sources, animals only possess physical earth energy. They're essentially biological machines driven purely by survival, species preservation, and the food chain. They don't have that immortal cosmic element. Humans, on the other hand, are a hybrid. We have the physical animal body, sure, but we also have that docked cosmic element. And because of this, only humans have the potential to override those primal animalistic instincts. Only humans can change their destiny, achieve true enlightenment, and ultimately become the protagonists of the universe. Finally, we've reached our conclusion, Section 6, the era of the Hongik Innan, the ultimate evolutionary goal. So what is the whole point of this? The ultimate thesis of the soul's massive journey through Earth's reformatory is to reach a state called Hongik Ingan. Notice how this ties the whole masterclass together. A Hongik Ingan is a fully realized human being who dedicates their life, all their gathered knowledge, and their energy entirely to the profound benefit of all humanity. This is literally the graduation requirement of the Earth reformatory. You have to transcend living just for yourself or just for your family, and you have to start operating for the global good. And this ultimate goal is incredibly relevant right now. The texts claim that historically, prior to 2012, humanity was stuck in an era of learning. We were spiritually dependent, bowing to spirits, praying for luck, and just trying to build our intellect. But supposedly in 2013, a massive cosmic shift began. We officially entered the era of the Hongik Ingan. Moving into the future, this philosophy says humans are no longer meant to blindly bow to invisible deities. Having evolved our intellect, we're now meant to take active leadership. We are the protagonists of the universe, using our knowledge to benefit mankind, while the spiritual realm just steps back to assist us. Wow, okay, we've covered the origins, the rigorous training, and the ultimate destiny of the soul in this masterclass. So I want to leave you with this final, really provocative thought. If this framework is right, and that era of dependency is totally over, if we are now the true empowered protagonists of the universe, what is the very first step you will take today to use your life for the profound benefit of humanity? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.